It's the last day of Essen and we have last chance to speak with Antoine Bauza. How you have been doing?
It was a very, very great fair. It was my 10th time in Essen, in fact, and I think the best one so far.
Best one? Why best one?
Because of the players, the folks, all the guys and girls in the industry, and of the success of the this year release Seven Wonders Duel, which was a huge success.
Yeah, I think it was sold in 1 or 2 days, something like that, right?
Yeah. They brought extra copies, but they've been sold out just in a few hours later. So it was very nice.
Do you know what was approximately the number of the, let's say, English copies?
Of English, no. The total amount was 2,400 copies, which is, I think, the all-time record here on the fair for a new release.
Wow, that is a large number because usually it's like 200, 300 copies of the popular games.
Yeah, you can go to 1,000, but here it's 2,000 and it's a two-player game, which is kind of peculiar. So it was a nice surprise. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I believe we all noticed, all gamers noticed that you really love Japan and everything Japanese. And we even know that you have learned Japanese language, calligraphy, and the martial arts. Are these just the rumors, or it's true?
It's true. My Japanese is very bad, but I've been practicing Aikido for a few numerous years. And I love Japan. I travel there once or two a year when I can. And no, my Japanese is very, very bad, in fact. But I try to improve it, but.
But where did that love for Japanese, everything Japanese come from?
That's a good question. It's from my youth, and you know, in France we were I think the first country to where the manga, the Japanese comic books, has a huge success. And after Japan, France is the best market for Japanese comics. So in my youth, I start to read. We used to buy Japanese comics in Japanese, so we just look at the picture and everything. And there was a lot of anime on TV, and I practiced martial arts, and everything goes to more and more Japan in my life. And now I'm using it when I'm designing game or writing story or whatever, because he had this big influence on my life for a long time. Yeah.
Do you feel that it's influencing your games, a part of the theme somehow? Maybe some kind of philosophy is leaking in the games?
Yes, and not only in the mechanism, because I'm not very focused on mechanism when I design a game, and it's all about the experience and the flow. And if you take the example of Tokaido has a Japanese theme, a strong one, but I think the philosophy of the game is very close to what we foreigners think of the philosophy of the Japanese. So yes.
Yeah, I often feel that there are some games that have really this, I don't know, the Zen feeling to that, where you can just play and you just enjoy the play. I feel that that's what you actually want to accomplish in the game.
Yes, and in many games, in this one is very strong, but I like this. I don't like competition or everything. I just want to sit at the table with people and just enjoy the game. So yes, this kind of feeling is one of my working points, in fact.
And can you tell me a few words? How did you get into the game designing?
As a kid, I wanted to make video games, and so I went to college. I studied computer science because I wanted to go into the video game industry. But it was very hard to find a job focused on game design. You were supposed to be good at programming or sound, and I was very bad at that. So I cannot find a job I want. So I start to designing board game because you can do it alone, you know, in your attic or everywhere. So I started this way, in fact. But I wanted to do video games, and I just end up in board games, and it was not planned. You know, so.
Right. I can see that so many people actually start with video games. So are you like board game designer full time, or do you have any additional job?
No, no. I'm full time since the release of Seven Wonder, which is a big success. So he allows me to pay the bill and to make only games. And before that, I used to be a school teacher, in fact,
School teacher.
with young kids, 7, 8. Yeah, make them play board games into the classroom when I can. And it was a very nice job, but you cannot do both.
Do you play your own games besides playtesting? Do you play other games as well?
Other game, yes, and the fun fact is when I'm finished designing a game, I don't play it anymore. I just want to go on other projects. So you never see me explaining game or playing with people. It's not that I don't like people. It's just when I'm finishing a game, I play maybe 100, 200 games, and just want to get on something then. And I'm starting to play them back maybe 2 years, 3 years after. So and then I can enjoy them again. But when it's done, usually okay. I don't want to don't show it. Don't show it to me. I want to show something new.
I think it would be with me the same. I actually think I would never manage to go through playtesting because I like to switch the games so much.
Sure. I understand that.
Lots of people are really interested how games are born thematically, but in your case, I'm much more interested how your games are born mechanically. Your games are really different. So Seven Wonders, Rampage, Ghost Stories, Hanabi, they're really different, like mechanically. How do you accomplish that?
I never start with a mechanism in mind. Usually, I try to start with a story, a theme, or a playing experience. So I want people doing around the table. So it's not about the mechanism when I design. It's about what I want to happen around the table when people sit. So with Hanabi, for example, I want people to look at each other, maybe cheat a little, and then I try to find the mechanism to do that. But for me, the mechanisms are just tools. So you want to build a house, you don't start with buying tools. You starting with having a plan or some kind of that.
But we can say that you basically invented one of the mechanics in Hanabi. The story of how you made Hanabi is actually my favorite of all. I will tell maybe briefly the core things. That Antoine wanted to challenge himself and try and see if it's possible to make a unique, new and fresh game with just basic deck of cards with colors and numbers, and you accidentally took the cards the opposite way. It's really my favorite story of all board games that have ever been created.
It was the first step of the creation. I was just handling the card by accident, and in the first design of Hanabi with the card backwards, the game was competitive. It was not cooperative, in fact, and it wasn't working well. And again, I was at my desk handling my card and thinking, and my wife come by at this moment and say, "Why don't you make a cooperative game because you love them so much?" And it just and I think the night after we started to play the Hanabi, and it was here.
I heard something that your wife made the artwork for Hanabi as well.
In the first publishing, it was all homemade. she do the graphic, and we found a very little French publisher, so it was 1,000 copies, I think. So if you get this one, it's a collector, so keep it preciously.
We don't have it, unfortunately. There is a game coming out with similar mechanic, Bomb Squad. Have you heard about that?
Yes, the people, I know one of the designers that I met they explained me that they enjoy really the mechanism and then try to do something new with this. I didn't play the game yet. I'm not sure it's out already. I think it was a Kickstarter. Okay. So I'll play it, of course. So yeah, sure.
Are you pleased that someone is using your invented mechanic?
Yeah, I'm not sure I invented it because I think there are other games when you take the cards backwards. Okay, I think like Coyote. Do you know the Coyote? So it's not the same game, but the fact that you can take the card backwards, there was other game before. So I think, which is again, it's not about the mechanism, which is very unique. Is Hanabi, it's the experience of the player at the table. It's not the components or the mechanism. It's the whole experience. So no, I'm okay with people trying to. It's always interesting to see people taking something they like and trying to see what can I do with that. As a designer, of course, I like to see all new ideas that they come. So yeah, and I think it's good when people wants to get inspired by you, because if they're not, maybe you're in trouble because you're not doing something good. So it's okay.
All right. Yeah, I'm really, I like the idea of the bomb squad, so I would love to try it out as well whenever it comes out. Can you tell a few words about your upcoming games, maybe?
Yeah, so for next year, next summer, there will be a board game I designed with Ludovic Maublanc on the IP Attack on Titans. Maybe you know the Japanese theme again. So we are now finishing to tweak and tune the game, so it's working very well. We're very happy with that, and we have to finish by the end of the year. And it will be released next summer, and we're pretty excited because we love the manga and the TV show. So it was very fun to work on this project. So.
I believe it will be even more popular because it's coming out approximately, let's say, the same year as the movie about the same one.
Yes, I know there will always be a movie release in Japan, but I think there is a movie outside Japan next year. I'm not sure.
Well, I saw some trailer about the Japanese Titans. It was. I believe it will be popular. The Attack of Titans, there is one player who plays the Titan and another players who try to climb up and get him down. It's really like direct attack, direct conflict. You usually try to avoid it. What happened this time?
There is conflict, but on the human side, it's a cooperative game. Okay, and it's a design I made with Ludovic, and Ludovic is not fond of cooperative games. So when we work together, it's not the same result, and it's why it's interesting to work with someone else. It takes you out of your comfort zone, and you're trying to make and I like to make very different games. So working with another designer helped me do that. So yeah, so I like cooperative game, but sometimes it's just nice to just roll dice like in King of Tokyo and smack your friend. It's always good. I like this. He has to stay friendly, but I like it too. So.
Or try to kick the tooth out from in the rampage.
Yeah, for example.
All right. There, I heard that the publisher plans 7 expansions for the 7 Wonders. If it's still so?
In this mind, maybe. In mine, I'm just working on one at a time. So now that we finished Duel, I will get back to the next expansion for the multiplayer game, which is called Armada for now. It's a working title, and it brings ship into the game. But I didn't touch it for 1 year because we were focusing on Duel. But I will get back to this project. And after that, I don't know. I will try to make this one a good expansion, and then we'll see.
But the publisher still has the plan to get the 7 expansions, right?
He'd like to, yeah, he'd like to. But it's not the one bringing the idea, so...
All right, thank you very much for the interview. You're the designer that I'm really looking forward for the new games, because I know when Antoine Bauza makes something, it's always different, it's always exciting, it's always like a surprise. It's always something different. That's really good. That's really awesome. Thank you.
It's getting more and more difficult because now I have a few games outside and trying to make each time something new. It's getting harder, but I'll try.
Yeah. That was actually one of my ideas. Like, do you ever feel that like everything new and original is already done, and there's soon not much more new to design?
I don't know. Every year in Essen, you will find a game who say, "Oh, it's a really cool idea." I'm surprised nobody thought about it before. So yeah, I'm confident there will be a good surprise for a few years at least.
Right, great. Thanks a lot. Really appreciate your time.